Hey everyone, it's Rachawl. Today I'm going to be doing a video that's a little bit different than what I normally do. In this video I'm going to be reacting to some tweets in regards to chronic illness and any other type of chronic pain. So let's see what kind of tweets are out there. So the first tweet is by KittenCat357. They say, I love how doctors will tell someone crippled with a severe chronic pain to exercise. I was doing that when I still had appropriate pain medication. So this is something that's interesting. What I get from this is that this person had a great time exercising when they were getting their pain dealt with correctly. So obviously it's hard for them to exercise if they're in pain all the time. I totally relate to this. It's really hard to go to physical therapy appointments when you're in pain because, at least in my experience, sometimes going to physical therapy appointments, I left in more pain just because they're pushing your limits a little bit, trying to see how much further you're getting than last time. So I definitely relate to this. I think that doctors telling someone to do certain things may not quite understand how difficult it is for that person to actually do those things, like exercise or eat healthier, change their lifestyle. It's so much harder for people that are going through chronic pain. This one is interesting. So it's actually this one I feel like had gone a little bit viral. I saw it a few times. So this one's from Hester Bloom. They say, amazing moment in Gen Z world remaking. With my kid at the doctor's office, nurse asks them to step on the scale. They say, no thanks, and blithely walk onto the examination room. You can do that? I marvel. Yeah, I saw it on TikTok. Weight and health is super sus anyway. I thought this one was kind of cool. I think it's awesome that people are starting to realize that there's more to health than just your weight and other things. There's so much more to your health than how much you weigh or what you eat and the things that you can or can't do. Going into a doctor's office is a great way to start that process of where are you health-wise. Weight sometimes isn't a part of it, but I do think it's a little bit weird to not get your weight on the scale. I think for emergency situations, getting your weight's actually really important, especially for paramedics or in the future if you ever end up in the ER and they can't get a weight on you. At least they have an approximate weight of the last time they saw you, so if they had to administer any life-saving drugs, they would be able to do that. So I agree with the idea behind it and the thought behind it, but I think realistically, not getting on the scale just to kind of say, like, suck it to you to the medical establishment about health, I think it's a little irresponsible. Getting weight's really important. It's going to help your doctors dose you with correct medications. This next one is falling asleep during an MRI is something I consider a chronic illness talent. That's written by Sick Girl Meg. That is so freaking true. So I've never actually fallen asleep during an MRI. I've had about 8 MRIs in my lifetime, and two of them were an hour and a half long. And I almost fell asleep during the second time I did that hour and a half one. It's extremely uncomfortable in an MRI. Just the heat factor and my back pain factor, laying down on a hard surface like that for a long period of time is difficult. So the fact that this person says they can fall asleep during an MRI, it's pretty insane. But yeah, Sick Girl Meg, that's a great tweet, and I love that. The next tweet on here is from The White Pube. It says, Hot Girl Summer Chronic Illness Edition, and it's a picture of a fan and an instant cold pack. So funny. Heat intolerance is actually really common with some chronic illnesses. So hot girl summer literally means for many people that you're going to be sweating and it's going to be hot. And heat intolerance is not for the weak. You can't even take a hot shower. Even a warm shower sometimes tips it off. So yeah, hot girl summer, literally being hot, having heat intolerance, and just being miserable. It's super great. And there's also a huge heat wave happening right now in the West. So awesome times. I love this tweet because it's pretty relatable for me. And yeah, cold packs are lifesavers, literally. This next tweet is by Lean Anderson. They say, dating with a chronic illness is fraught with misunderstandings. There's a picture of a corgi sleeping on a couch, and it says, date, You told me you were interesting. Me? I said I was interesting. That's hilarious. I love that because super relatable. Again, interesting. I mean, yeah, I think everyone's interesting in their own ways, but interesting, 100%. I think anyone with chronic illness can agree. Taking naps, laying in bed all day, laying on the couch. I'm into that. This next tweet is by Sick and Salty. They say, no matter how sick I get, how many diagnoses I accumulate, how much pain and fatigue I experience, I can't get rid of the little voice in the back of my head that says, what if you're just not trying hard enough? This is a really sad reality for so many people with chronic illness and any other type of chronic issues. It's awful because we doubt ourselves so much. We have that ableist mentality of, well, maybe you're not really sick. Maybe you're just imagining all these symptoms. So no matter how many diagnoses you get, no matter how many doctors you see that validate what you're going through, no matter how many therapists you see, sometimes we have that thought in the back of our heads, like, are these symptoms even real? I mean, am I over-exaggerating the way that I'm feeling today? Totally normal, something you should definitely speak about with your therapist. If you don't have a therapist, I recommend getting one. These types of thoughts can be very intrusive and very harmful to our state of mind, especially when we're going through something like a new diagnosis or any type of chronic illness. This next tweet is by Wonder_Cripple. They say, attention doctors, physical therapists, etc. Disabilities can become more restrictive with age, despite them officially not being progressive. Sincerely, an adult with CP who's tired of hearing that it doesn't get worse, because it does. So this is pretty interesting. When people tell us that our diseases are not progressive, meaning the disease itself does not get worse, does not get more intense, it's true, the disease itself may not progress, but sometimes our disabilities do. Another thing could be fatigue that seems to pile up on itself. So even though your disease or your illness is not progressive, sometimes those fatigue symptoms can start to pile up on themselves, and you can actually get more and more fatigued as the days go on. And then when you're fatigued, you're not eating well, and then not eating well generates a whole new group of problems. So you're not eating well, you don't have the energy you need, and it creates tons and tons of more issues. So having one illness can actually branch off into tons of different issues. And I think that's a great way to explain is even though our disease is not progressive, it progressively makes our life more and more unbearable. This next tweet is by Cactus Lashes. They say, I leveled up. And it's a picture of the little medicine organizers. And it goes Sunday through Saturday, AM, PM. And it looks like there's 4 morning, noon, evening, and bedtime. That's intense. So that means if you're taking a pill 4 times a day, this is the organizer you need. This is awesome. I have one that's morning and night. But this is, yeah, like they say, they leveled up 100%. That's awesome. I'm super jealous. I need an organizer like that because there are some things that I take in the middle of the day versus the morning, and some things I take in the middle of the evening and then the nighttime. This next tweet is by Tilari_tripod. They say, one of my recent random quality of life projects was putting together a no spoons basket with makeup wipes, body wipes, deodorant wipes, dry shampoo, no rinse toothbrushes, and other items to help handle the bad days. And it shows a picture of all things that were said in the tweet. Some makeup wipes, dry shampoo, toothbrushes, some body wipes. So this is awesome. This is something that is a huge level of self-care for people that really struggle with self-care in general and just taking a shower every day. I'm definitely one of those people that struggle with just getting the energy to take a shower. And even if you do take a shower, do you have the energy to brush your teeth afterwards? There's so many things that pop up in your day-to-day life that you need to do on a daily basis, especially if you're working, especially if you're seeing people in public. You can't just go out looking like a mess. I mean, you could, but, you know, that generates unwanted questions of how we're doing, and we look really tired today. So doing the basic essentials are really important for us because we need to look like we're put together, but sometimes we don't have the energy for it. So putting together a little self-care package like this with these quick, wipes to help clean up. It's amazing. It's a great idea. And the no spoons project, that's awesome. The no spoons, if you've never heard of the spoon theory, it's that some people have more spoons than others, and some people it takes more spoons to do one thing than it does another person. So the spoon theory is awesome, and it is very directly relatable. The last tweet that I'm going to read is going to be by someone named Horton Rachawl _. That's my name. One of the prevailing narratives about chronic illness is that the process goes symptoms, diagnosis, treatment, cure, summit Everest, publish memoirs, become an inspiration. What has your timeline actually been like? This is so true. This is something that I think I even struggle with to this day. The other day I was editing a video, and I make these videos to help people that are going through the same issues that I'm going through, right? So I'm at that summit Everest published memoirs space in my life. But realistically, as I'm editing videos, my back is killing me. And I'm in so much pain to where my normal methods aren't working. My ice pack isn't working. My heat pack isn't working. My anti-inflammatories aren't working. And here I am, preaching to the crowd about, back pain and chronic illness and chronic pain, all these things, like I have a handle on it. But realistically, I don't. And it is cool to see the people that did cure their illnesses, and it's amazing to see, and it gives me hope that one day, I will have that chance and I will have that doorway for myself. But for now, sitting in my pain and living in it is so much harder. You want to have that light at the end of the tunnel, but sometimes there is no light at the end of the tunnel for many people with chronic illness. So definitely don't compare yourselves to the people that have gone through that cure process and they publish a book and they're out there saying, just do this diet and you'll be like me and you'll cure yourself. Remember that not everybody is the same. Not everybody's body is going to respond the same way. So you're doing your best. You're here watching videos. You're trying to relate to people. You're doing a great job just doing what you're doing right now. And don't compare yourself, because you are on your own journey and you will get to the places in your journey in your own time. So whether you want to publish a memoir or not, you could do it right now, because your life is your memoir. And just because you haven't gotten to the end of that journey yet or to a cure doesn't mean that you can't help others during that hard time as well. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed these. Let me know if you want me to do another tweet video like this. I may also go into Reddit and see what happens in the chronic pain, chronic illness Reddit. Reddit seems to have a lot more jokes and funny memes involving chronic illness. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like I said earlier, you're doing a great job. You're here, you're living your life, you're watching videos, you're trying to relate to someone, you're trying to feel better about yourself. And you're doing a great job. And the fact that I'm over here editing videos and I'm in pain and my tools aren't working for me, it doesn't mean that I can't help others. And that's the same with you, is even if you're still struggling and you're still accepting and you're still sitting with your pain, it doesn't mean that you can't reach out and help others. So just because you're not at the end of whatever journey you're on doesn't mean that you can't help others who are also on the same journey or similar journeys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much.